Now, y'all already know what time it is. It is time for the mess. So let's get into it, y'all. And what's good, you guys? What is good? This be your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, honey, okay? And we have not done a Yes for the Mess in a couple of days, but we are doing one today, mainly because of my boy, House of Aaron. Before we get into that first, because I have a couple of things to say before we get into this Yes for the Mess, let's talk about what we got coming up next, okay? Now, coming up tonight is the Whether You Like It or Not panel, and it will be right there on Giving You the Real Teas channel. We will be discussing the Real Housewives of Atlanta as well as Bell Collective, okay? So be out on the lookout for all of that. Be on the lookout for that tonight at 9:15 Eastern Time on Giving You the Real Teas platform, okay? And also, be on the lookout tomorrow night for Roaster Review. Me, T, and Josiah, we will be back in the building, you know what I mean, to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, all right? So be on the lookout for us roasting and reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all, all right? Now, before we get into today's tea, listen, you guys, I know y'all about tired of me. I know y'all tired of me. Y'all probably are, and that's okay. But you got to understand where I'm coming from. This has been one of the biggest weeks of my life. One of the biggest weeks of my life, y'all. And I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm an unemotional ass Aquarius. I don't cry, all that, but I feel like I'm going to, but I'm not going to allow that to happen. This has been one of the biggest weeks of my life as far as like my YouTube channel. I am so grateful. I am eternally grateful. I'm humbly grateful that I was chosen to get this interview with Miss Kandi Burruss. I have to talk about this because this Yes for the Mess is about her. However, I have been trying to get that interview for months. Like literally trying to get that interview for months. I reached out to Don Juan for an interview with her back in July. He sent me to the Candy Coated Entertainment people. We were going back and forth in emails. Like this was on the horizon before I ever knew that Kandi was going to choose bloggers to interview with around a reunion. This was something that I manifested. This is something that me and Jamar talked about. We always said, bitch, if we get Kandi on this show, we would be on to something. We manifested and I worked on that and I went so hard to get it. And this was everything. This is the biggest interview I have ever had in my life. The biggest one. Viewership wise, Miss Wanda is the biggest. But just period, Kandi is the biggest interview that me and Jamar have ever had. And I can't say it enough. I am internally grateful to Kandi for giving me this opportunity. I love her forever for that. I will always be grateful to her for that. This is something that I've always wanted. And it just goes to show you that you shouldn't. It just goes to show you that you should never give up on you. Okay? I'm getting emotional. Never give up on you. That's one thing that you should never do is give up on you. Never give up on you. Because let me tell y'all, I've been doing this shit for 11 and a half years. Next month is going to make 12 years of me doing this. I didn't go nowhere with this until 2 years ago. And when I tell you the growth and the opportunities I've been getting has been amazing to me. And it was a time where I was going to give up on this shit. There was a time where I didn't think that I would never get no interviews. There was a time I never thought anybody would ever want to watch me. There was a time that I didn't think nobody would ever pay attention to me ever in my life. I never thought anybody would ever give Scotty a chance. I always felt like I was the underdog in this shit. I always felt like I was the one that was being slept on in this shit. I always felt that way. I always felt stagnant. I didn't know what to do to make this shit move and make this shit grow. And it took me to be in a situation where I was homeless, where I was living in a hotel for 3 damn months, forced to sit there and think. And me and my friend, Jamar84, sat there and we said that when I get out of this shit, we're going to go hard. I got out of that hotel in February. I was in that bitch from November, December, January, up until my 31st birthday. I got out of this bitch. I got myself set up in this house and I started working my ass off. And this is the fruits of my fucking labor. So I want to thank everybody that has been so supportive, all of Scotty Gang, all of my YouTube peers. Like, that was amazing seeing all of my YouTube peers, the people that really rock with me, just showing me all of this love. It was amazing. And I can't say that enough. You really be thinking no one really gives a fuck. But yesterday was my way of seeing things in a different perspective. People really give a fuck. When you are really a genuine person and when you real and when you keep it 100, people really do see your growth and your progress and your potential. And when people really see that, they want to support you and they want to see you do well. I want to thank everybody, all my YouTube peers, my close friends from YouTube, everybody. Thank you for all of your support of me and Jamar. Thank you guys. I can't say it enough. I'm still on the high. I'm still on the high from this. Nobody can take this high away from me. Thank you guys for this. I prayed and I prayed and I manifested this shit. And this is such a good moment for me. Y'all don't understand. Like, I did not have any confidence in myself for a mighty long time, but I got it. And once I realized what I could do, and once I realized what I was able to do and the potential that I really had, I worked on this shit with a lot of setbacks, with a lot of criticism, but I still made it through the mud. Thank y'all. Y'all don't understand how it feels to be the underdog and not feeling like you will ever make it. And you got people that have said that Scotty needs to, back then I was Mr. Still Standing. Mr. Still Standing needs to give it up. Ain't nobody checking for him. He is the chingy of YouTube. And bitch, here I am. That's all I can say. Thank you to my Scotty gang. Thank you to my YouTube peers, my close friends, my family. My phone been going off for the last 3 days. Thank you guys so much. And also, one more thing before we get into today's is this right here. I got to give a shout out to everybody that did this because I was up here amongst people that I enjoy. Shout out to Miss Misha. Me and her was in the DMs on Instagram, literally sending each other voice memos, praying for each other, giving each other all of this praise, giving each other all of this love, encouragement, because she was really afraid. She was nervous, but I told her, girl, you got this shit. You got this shit. You are the one that I was the most happy for. Like, for real. Me and Misha were the smallest YouTubers up there, and we got it. So shout out to Miss Misha, okay? I love that girl to death. I love her. I love her. And this moment will always give her a special place in my heart. Shout out to Miss Misha, honey. Shout out to you if you're watching this. Shout out to Tisa, she shouted me out yesterday. Shout out to Tisa. Love Tisa. Shout out to Storm Monroe. I always enjoyed his content. Shout out to Bundy Blue, my bitch. Bundy Blue. Jamie Nisi, I love y'all. I'm so glad y'all got this opportunity, man. I'm so happy. And I just want to set the record straight with something. A lot of people like to try to speculate and shit. One thing about it and two things for certain. When those girls went off and got the Ooh Ladies First panel, we never stopped fucking with each other. I never stopped fucking with Bundy. I never stopped fucking with Jamie. And I never stopped fucking with Nisi. As y'all can see, I hang out with Jamie almost every time I come to Atlanta. That's like my big sis. I love me some Jamie. Jamie and Bundy were the main two that pushed me to get that Miss Wanda interview, period. Okay? So can't nobody say shit to me about them three girls. I love them. I'm so glad that they got this opportunity right alongside me, bitch. Okay, we was on the same panel together just this time just last year, honey. We was on the Whether You Like It or Not panel together. Now all of us got the same damn opportunity, and I'm happy to see that. So shout out to the Ooh Ladies First panel. And bitch, shout out to my little brother Aaron. Shout out to him. Shout out to DJ Richard Sky as well. Let me not forget him. But shout out to my brother Aaron. I love me some House of Aaron. That's like my little brother, and he's the reason why we got this tea today. Shout out to Aaron. I know a lot of folks was mad because he got to get this opportunity because he's Team Portia. But who give a fuck? It ain't even about what team you on. It's about what you got going on, bro. And my bro got it going on to the point where his ass is viral. He on Shade Room. He on all the little reality show blogs. He on the Neighborhood Talk. He all over the goddamn place. So shout out to my boy, House of Aaron, bitch. Shout out to you. Like, shout out to you. You the reason why we finna have some content this week. They already reporting on your shit. So shout out to you, House of Aaron. Shout out to everybody that got their damn opportunity. I love everybody involved. But the main people that I gotta give that shout out to is my good friends, Aaron, Jamie, Bundy, Nisi, and my growing relationship with Miss Misha. Shout out to all of you guys. I'm so happy that we did this shit together. This is amazing. This is amazing. I spent 10 minutes talking about myself, but it's okay. I had to get this shit out, y'all. I had to, because I'm on a high, and I'm so happy and I'm so glad for not only me and Jamar, but for everybody involved, especially the people that I have close knit relationships with. I'm so happy, y'all. Can't nobody tell me nothing. A country boy from Mississippi that sits in his room got an interview with Kandi Burruss, period. So anyways, with that being said, let's get into today's mess, y'all. So let's get right on into it, okay? So as you guys already know, like I said, yesterday, Kandi went, did her rounds and did a couple of interviews with people like me and Jamar. And, she spilled some tea. Some of our interviews were shorter than others, some of them were had to be a little bit longer than others, but we all made it through. We all did good jobs. She did an interview with House of Aaron, and Aaron asked her what was the beef between her and Carlos King and all of that stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into that right now. I'm going to play the audio. Shout out to House of Aaron for this. I love you, brother. We're finna listen to this and we're going to dissect this, okay? So let me go ahead. I got my Bluetooth speaker already on. We're going to get into it. I might just stop it as I go or whatever. So, yeah, let's get right on into this situation with Kandi and Carlos. Once again, shout out to House of Aaron for this tea. Let's get into it.
Okay, the people, this was like the number one question. Carlos King. He's been doing the podcast. The people were going to be upset if I did not bring this up, okay? Because
you're the first person to ask me this today, okay? What about him?
Okay, so Carlos, former executive producer of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. He's been on the podcast and talking, and whenever he criticizes the show, he brings you up. A lot of the fans,
I don't understand.
Well, a lot of the fans, they go to Twitter and they're like, oh my God, Carlos is coming for Kandi. So it's been like this whole thing on social media, and people think that you and Carlos King have a beef, including me, because then you went on to the speak on it and somebody asked you about Carlos and you were like, we're not cool. And it wasn't like, it's like no beef or nothing. It's like something had happened. So my question is, what happened?
Oh my God.
Times
like another person that I think, he's another person that I think, when they say I've tried to help people, then it comes back to bite me in the ass. Okay, so first of all, the main reason, my main issue with Carlos is he is the one who stole my group's life story and sold it to TV One. And for that, I just get past it. He had been working with us that entire season on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That last year he was with us. Him and Todd had already had some business issues because they were doing a production company together. So they already had some things they had dealt with personally. But, we was trying to move past that and still work together on the show because he was executive producing. What season was that? 9 or whatever?
Yes.
And he was his last year. Okay. So let's say the season wrapped in November. In December, someone tells me, I was talking to a friend. I was like, hey, we should do like a movie about, our group's life or whatever. And they were like, it was a director that Todd and I were speaking. And they was like, somebody's already doing it. And I was like, what you mean somebody's doing it? And so in my mind, I'm thinking it was one of my group members or something. And they was like, yeah, it's a network that's already because I took a meeting about directing it. And I was like, what? Now, mind you, just wrapped season 9. The season in either top of December or November, end of November right there. December, I'm hearing that this movie has been sold to a network. So I come to find out a couple weeks later, I'm trying to find out what is going on, and come to find out it was, in sidebar, his other producing partner, one of the producers that worked for him, who was also at the time I thought was super cool, had called my mom, was like, oh yeah, we want to do a interview you because we're trying to do a documentary about girl groups or something. So we want to ask you questions about, Escape. My mom was going to do it or whatever, but come to find out, he was the person who had did the deal with TV One to sell Our Life Story. He was, and my mom and it was going to try to ask my mother questions about us unknowingly to get more information, I guess, for the show. So anyway, I just thought that was the lowest thing that anybody could ever do.
Wait, but how did he have the rights to y'all story?
He didn't have the rights to our story. What I found out, because of course, I was calling lawyers and everything, and I found out at the time that when you're a public figure, people can do
unauthorized.
They can do unauthorized stories about you. Right. And at the time, we had already done what's that, behind the music type of thing on TV One or whatever. Okay. No, TV One. Remember, Unsung. How they Unsung, yeah. So they had certain information that I guess they could base the movie off of. But my thing was, I was like, never once, all them years we have been around each other, he had never once told me that he was trying to do a movie about us, and to be able and to go behind my back and to do that, and that's our life story.
Right.
I was like, I can't fuck with him ever again. Wow. I did not want to. I did reach out to him at first. He didn't answer the phone because I had just heard it, so I wasn't sure that it was him. So I was calling him and be like, yo, like, what is this? He didn't answer my calls. But then when we had did some things to start like reaching out to the network to try to get the whole situation shut down, then all of a sudden he reaches out to me. And I didn't want to talk after that. I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't ever have to talk to you again. And that's just how I feel. I'm like, that is the lowest of the low. Our first spinoff was the wedding or one of them. I think our spinoff was the first show that he was executive producer for. Mm-hmm. I literally fought for him to be executive producer of my show, to be the lead executive producer. Right. So for you to have somebody that you went out for, and I always respected him as a producer, to do that to me. And so for him to now, every time he turn around, he got something to say about me. I'm like, I just give him no energy. But that right there, my life story, that shit makes me emotional, and it pisses me off. So yeah, I don't have nothing for him. Nothing. I was not like, how could you do that to somebody? You're around them every day.
Y'all know each other. Like, even if you wanted to do it, be like, be upfront about it. Like, I'm doing this. Upfront. What you think? Yeah.
He could have asked, like, if anything, I would have just asked me, like, hey, how do you feel? It's the opportunity or whatever. Like just do that and not say anything. Wow. And I have to hear in the streets.
Wow.
I was like, yo, cut off.
Kandi.
Never again. Do not, So people always think that it's because of the whole Phaedra and Fortune, and that is not why. I still to this day will say I do not believe he ever told her that. He said he never told her that. The networks, did they questioning or whatever? He never told her that. That is a lie to the depths of hell. So y'all can stop telling that story. Y'all need to go buy the Bravo book. They explain to you that Carlos did not tell her that. So y'all can stop believing that lie. No, I do not mess with him because of what he tried to do to my group in Our Life Story.
Did y'all share an office? I heard somewhere that y'all.
Yes, we did. When he first was, leaving the, trying to do his own thing, him and Todd were becoming partners, and his office was in my office building. Not that I try to bring that up or anything, but yeah, like we was cool, like cool. That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you go from having that type of relationship with somebody to stealing their life story? I do not know.
Yeah. Wow.
I never done anything to that man.
Right. But gave him storylines for the ratings.
Apparently.
Yeah.
apparently. And it's just like, golly, you know, it was bad enough that him and Ty was having their, you know, disagreements in their business, and some of the things that he did we felt like was foul or whatever. But, you know, business is business. You know, sometimes people fall out in business or whatever. But for him to do that, still alive, this is my life. Like, you are literally
So
going
is that
to
something that
take
you're
my life
working
from
on?
me.
Like a script, like a movie, or like you
We
got it shut down
were,
at TV1, I'm assuming.
and we actually had got it picked up somewhere else, but then we ended up not doing it. So either way, child, I was just,
We could always do a book like Mary Wilson from the Supremes. Her book was really like she spilled all the tea.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. Right now, me and my group, we still not in the best place. I'm not gonna lie, but I just feel like doing a tell-all book at this point would really just drag it. I personally feel like I have to say that for when I get old, child. But the movie, you know, I'm down. You know, that conversation keeps coming up. People keep still, you know, throwing that towards us, and I'm cool with doing it as long as everybody is gonna be open about their stuff and not just be trying to put my drama in there, my tea, because you know that's what they like to do, talk about stuff that I dealt with. And I'm like, nah, now y'all got some way interesting stuff we can talk about too.
Right.
So we gonna talk about it all, then we talk about it, but don't just think you can just be, no, just use me.
Well,
That was a lot. Okay. That was a lot. That was a whole lot. So shout out to my brother, House of Aaron, for this. Shout out to him. Because if it wasn't for him, we would not have this particular content today. Okay, we would not. Okay, so first things first. I'm glad that she addressed the movie thing because I was looking forward to seeing an Escape biopic because I love Escape. Escape is one of my favorite girl groups outside of SWV and TLC. That's one of my favorite girl groups. So I was ready to see that movie. Period. Ready to see it. But some things happen with that, and her group members are not in the best of places. I'm guessing that's why she gets so agitated when she talks about the brand new show that's coming up. And I really hate that they just can't get it right. But it just happens that way. You know, sometimes when you are in the group and things happen, and sometimes things are bigger than others, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can, you know, fuck things up in the long run and shit like that. And things will never ever be the same or where it needs to be. So I understand that. You know what I'm saying? So I get that part of the situation. Now, when it come down to Carlos in this whole situation, I would say this. I respect Carlos as a producer, especially as a black gay man like myself that's in the industry or whatever. Well, I'm not in the industry just yet, but you know, I like if I can manifest a Kandi interview, I'm pretty sure I can manifest myself being in the industry, honey. But however, I respect Carlos as a black gay man, black gay producer in the entertainment business or whatever. You know, he's an inspiration to a lot of us. And all of that good stuff. But it just some things that you just gotta not do. And I just feel like when it comes down to that, like you could like you and Kandi been around each other all this time. Y'all been cool for all these damn years. And you mean to tell me that you could not come to your friend and come to her and tell her that you want to do a movie on Escape. You know what I mean? Like that would have been the best thing. I mean, you have the closest relationship to Kandi and her husband. So why not just go ahead and do the movie and tell Kandi about it? Then you know she can contact Tiny. Tiny can be the chain of resource to Latasha and Tamika. They can all come on one accord and they can talk about everything. That would have been a good thing because Escape has an interesting story. If you guys don't remember, they did Unsung back in 2015. I'll never forget it because I had that shit on DVR for a whole damn long time. I had that shit on DVR for 2 damn years and could not get it deleted until it deleted itself, honey. Okay, so if you watch Unsung, they had a very interesting story on Unsung, and it made everybody want a biopic from them. So, you know, they had an interesting story. Kandi got interesting story. Tiny had like they all have personal stories that were very interesting. And I think that the movie would have been a good look for them. And for Carlos, because I only know him for being in reality TV. I don't know too much about him being into no movies or no films or nothing. So being that this is a biopic, like this would have been great for him and for the rest of the girls. But he decided to be sneaky about it and be on some snake shit and then do some more shit with it. You know what I mean? And it's very funny to me now because everybody thought that that Kandi didn't fuck with Carlos due to the Portia and Phaedra stuff. And I always felt like Carlos had nothing to do with it, because people like to use that and say that that was the reason why it came out, to expunge Phaedra from being the one to put the lie out there. And I never fell for the bullshit. Never fell for it. I always felt like it was more to it than some bullshit about that. I never felt like Carlos said that. Never felt like that. I always felt like Phaedra really came out of her mouth and said the BS. I really felt like that. So yeah. But yeah, she definitely denied that Carlos had any parts of the rumor that Phaedra put on the show about the whole Portia Shamia, taking you home thing. Like he had nothing to do with that. That was something that Phaedra said. So when it come down to her life story, it goes all the way back to, not only did you try to steal the concept about me and my life with my group members, but you went to my mama and you tried to interview my mama for this shit. Like, if you on some snake shit, be on that snake shit. If you trying to be on some snake shit with me, you be on some snake shit with me. You go ahead and do that shit. But don't involve my mama in your bullshit though. Like, it's one thing that you already screwing me around, with a whole lot of venom on your throat, doing a whole bunch of bullshit and all that other stuff. But it's like, when you involving my mama and all of that other stuff, like snaking her into this shit, this woman don't even know what she getting herself into. Mama Joyce was ready to be a part of the shit, like a documentary, ready to do it. But you on some other shit. Like, you ain't even tell Kandi about this shit, but you trying to get her mama involved in it. That ain't the way you move, bruh. That's just not the way. That's not the way shit goes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure that he's going to have a rebuttal to this, and it will be said on his podcast, because we already know. And as much as I love me some Carlos King, he do be shading Kandi down on his podcast. He really do. He do be finding any reason to bring her up. He really do. That ain't no lies. Y'all know it ain't no lie. So it is what it is. I can only imagine where this is going, and this is going viral. Shout out to my brother, House of Aaron. But it's just like people have always said that the nigga was shady. And then somebody told me today that Kandi ain't the only person that don't fuck with him. Allegedly, Mona Scott don't fuck with him either. And I got to do a little bit of digging on it to find out why that's it, because the person would not tell me why Mona don't fuck with him. But I heard that Mona don't fuck with him, period. Okay? Mona don't fuck with him, period. That's what the fuck I heard. That's what I was told today. But I don't know why. So I got to do a little bit of digging to find out why that relationship is over with. Because if you remember, Carlos did work on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta with Mona the first season, and I think he worked with her on the second season. Then eventually he went over to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But from what I'm also being told is that a lot of folks in the industry really don't rock with Carlos like that. That's why he over there on OWN. So I don't know how true that is, but we'll figure it out as time goes on, child. But Carlos is the reason behind a lot of my favorite reality shows, like the Bill Collective. He brought Bill Collective down south to Mississippi. He did that. He did Love Me in Huntsville, one of the biggest, one of my most received reviews at this point. So, he does do good work. You know what I mean? And I do like him, but no matter what, if I like you or not, I gotta call you out on your wrongs. And when you're right, you're right. And when you're wrong, honey. And in this particular situation, Carlos was damn wrong for that. Now, as far as us doing a lit live chat about this, I think I will do that tomorrow. It just depends, because me, T, and Josiah, we got to do roast and review tomorrow, so we'll probably get into it a little bit later tomorrow night, because I don't want to do it during the day, because I know a lot of y'all got to work and shit like that. So I would love to do it during the day, but I don't think it'll be a good idea to do it during the day. But it just depends on what y'all say, because this is gonna be a premiere, so I'm gonna be in the comments and shit, watching, seeing what the fuck y'all saying and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna figure it out. But we will do it lit live. I don't want to wait till Thursday to do it, because I feel like y'all not gonna give a damn about it by Thursday, because Thursday night would be a free night for me. But it just depends on whether or not y'all want it on Wednesday or Thursday. I might just do a poll, you know what I mean, and see what y'all think about it. But with that being said, y'all, that's all I got on this Kandi versus Carlos King T. Like I said, shout out to House of Aaron, because if it wasn't for him, none of us would have this to talk about today at all. He asked the question that I fucking wanted to ask before they told her that she didn't have no more time. I had that in my damn question book. God damn. But shout out to my brother though. Like, shout out to him. Like, y'all don't understand. This has been a great week. Most definitely. I'm happy for me and Jamar and everybody else that was involved. Shout out to everybody. With that being said, you guys, This be your boy Scotty. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever Scotty by Nature TV drops a video. Also, if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down in the description box. With that being said, you guys, your boys out of here, and I will leave you guys with a little bit of some promos. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later for the panel tonight. Bye, y'all.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Tramel. I just wanted to say that I have a new project that's out. It's called Mixed Feelings. It's on all streaming platforms. I would hope that you would go and check it out. It's a really good feel of an album. It's got everything you need and more. It's got R&B, it's got a little bit of pop, it's got a little bit of hip hop. It's everything that you need and more. It's out all streaming platforms, like I said. Please check me out, and you can also follow me at IAM_Tramel. That's IAM_TRAMEL. Check me out. I hope to hear from you.